Hey guys, Kev here, and I want to do some rapid reviews for you on these three knives. But first, I just want to give a big shout out to my brother Brent, Backpack B, for hooking it up with this clip right here. Look at this baby. He gave me this artisan titanium milled clip, and it fits perfectly onto my mini Arian or small Arian from White Mountain Knives, and now it looks like a way more premium knife. It's the liner lock version in AR RPM 9, which I love the steel, and I love this red coral micarta, but it had that budget clip on it, and now it just looks so much more premium in my opinion. And I just love this knife, so it really helped. And they come with a slew of screws, so you can figure out what fits what knife if you want to try different knives and stuff. I don't know if I need to. No, this feels pretty good. If you want to try different ones, like I had it on the more Mylea for a second, but it didn't really fit well. I didn't really like it on that knife. It's perfect on this knife. So, yeah, shout out to Brent for providing that. White Mountain Knives does sell these occasionally when they have them in stock, and you can also get them on the Artisan Cutlery website. That's the clip, and it comes in different versions, I think. I don't know what version this is exactly, so I can't speak to that, but I think they tell you what models they fit, so you can check that out. And then the knife is an exclusive to White Mountain Knives, so you can use my code LeftyEDC at checkout if you want to pick one of these up. I believe they are available at the time of filming this. And yeah, you can use code LeftyEDC for 10% off and free shipping in the US. All right, so let's get into it. Lewis over at Addicted to Knives. Go check out his YouTube channel as well. Really cool dude. He's got an interesting perspective. I kind of call him the king of Amazon because he buys all types of stuff, including knives, off of Amazon. I'm betting these two are from Amazon and possibly even that one. And now that I'm sitting here, I totally forget the model number on this. I knew it. I think it's the TS249. It's something like that. I had to search a few, and then I finally found it. I think it's the TS249, so I apologize for that. But it'll be in the title or in the description. Check the description, which will also have a link to Lewis's channel and all the affiliate links and stuff I have. So let's get into it. We can start with that one, I guess. Again, TwoSun, not sure of the number. It's 240 something, 249, 247, something like that, I believe. And guys, this TwoSun has soul. This is by far and away my favorite TwoSun I've ever handled, I've ever seen. It just really resonates with me. Now, part of that, obviously, is it's very in tune with my design aesthetic. I have a knife that's coming out with Colin Mason Pierre under our Devo brands, our Devo Knives brand, and it has a similar feel to this. It's a sheep's footy blade with a pretty, neutral handle. Ours is a bolster lock, and it's obviously different, but it's similar. So obviously I'm going to like this. It has a cool two-piece construction that kind of makes it look integral. I like that. There is definitely a lot of milling going on inside, so that's nice. So aesthetically, I really like it, right? I believe this is a night morning design. I think that's what that logo is. Yeah, I'm digging it. So aesthetically, definitely good looking with that blade shape. Couple of humps, little poon spoon action here. We're working with 14C, 28N, and titanium, of course, on bearings. I'm guessing this one's around $125 if you can get it at White Mountain or wherever, which is definitely a great price. This TwoSun has some soul, guys, for sure. So aesthetics are good. Ergos are phenomenal. You can get this grip back here, and it just locks you in. You have this jimping right here. Very, very good. I do enjoy this grip a lot, but you have this choil, and it just feels really comfortable up here. You land right into this poon spoon. Now, the way they did this, they kind of put a sort of like mini swedge on the side, and it kind of makes this top part a little bit pokey. I do wish they had kept that flat or done something, put some jimping there, I don't know, to make it where your thumb just feels a little more secure in that position. I also wish this choil were a little bit bigger. It just feels like I'm starting to climb right up onto the edge, and it's sharp, right? So if they had maybe extended this choil out, you got plenty of blade length, right? So if they extended this choil out just a little bit, you know, if you have anything other than skinny fingers, this is going to be a little bit uncomfortable for you. But it's also, you know, it worked fine for me, so I don't want to sit here and complain about it. I just want to point those things out to anybody shopping here. Ergo's aesthetic, so cutting. You have this beautiful 14C28N. I love how they did this stonewash. They need to do that more often. I'm starting to really like a good stonewash, and it's not like a tall blade, but it's pretty tall. So it comes down to a pretty thin edge. I mean, I really enjoyed the, you know, minimal amount of cutting I did with it. I get a lot of knives in, guys, and I just can't spend days and days with each one, so I carry them, you know, a couple days as I can, and whatever comes up during that is what comes up. So, you know, cutting shipping labels, of course, cutting open a few packages, stuff like that. I don't think I had any cardboard on the docket when I had this in pocket, but I'm pretty sure it would be phenomenal at all of those sort of utility cuts and EDC sort of things. That's what I really love a sheep's foot for. You get that low tip, bang, you can get into packages, but it's also really good, in my opinion, in the kitchen. You're just not going to get a ton of rocking cuts because your hand's going to be right on the counter. But overall, this type of blade shape is just excellent for EDC, and I enjoyed it. And the edge felt really good to me. I didn't notice any issues or anything. It feels really sharp. The tip, which is what I use the most, did extremely well. I got through, I think, 3 labels with this, maybe 4, because you can get a good amount of power behind it because you got all this length and then you're driving that right into that tip, right? Whereas sometimes when you're doing this, trying to get the tip down with the clip point, you just can't get a lot of power behind it. So cutting, in my opinion, is good. Yeah, carry, no issue. I really like this clip. Now, okay, I'm going to take that back. I don't like the ball point on it. So when it goes in your pocket, it can pop over a little bit. But that's really it. I mean, I didn't notice it catching or grabbing or anything. It's maybe a little bit looser than you'd want it to be because, like, they're relying on that right there to keep it in your pocket more so than, like, strong retention, if that makes sense. But I didn't really notice an issue. It was in my back pocket. It never fell out or anything like that. I didn't notice a bunch of shifting or anything. So I think it was good in terms of carry. It is pretty, I would say, relatively lightweight for its size, to be honest. I mean, you're looking at, what, a 3.5-inch blade. Let's get out our 3.5-inch measuring stick. The Axon. Yeah, I mean, you're looking at right about 3.5 inches on this guy. And for that size, I mean, I thought the weight, considering it's all titanium, was pretty good. They did a good job with the milling on this guy inside. And then the 2-piece probably helps a little bit as well. So I think carry, all things considered, is good. It's not a super tall knife. You do have this little hump here, but I'm not the kind of guy who has a bunch of shit in my knife pockets. So yeah, there's that. Cutting, carry, sounds. So I love it. I would give it an 8 out of 10. It's got a really good thwack to it on the way out, and you occasionally get a nice little ting on it as well, which is, you know, an added bonus. And then closing, really nice. Love it. I actually love the sounds on this knife. Action. So here we go. Centering, dead on, dead nuts, right down the line. It's a ballsy move, putting a line right there. Nailed it. Detent is absolutely tuned to perfection. Thumb flick left-handed is money. I get a good amount of pressure behind it. My fingers line up really well. Oops, my fingers line up really well, and it shoots out of there. I like this hole shape a lot. I really do, aesthetically and functionally. You just get a good grip on it, and you can shoot it out of there. And then on the reverse flick, right-handed, man, if I was right-handed, there's so many knives, but this would be a favorite of mine if I was right-handed, for sure. So I was saying, this TwoSun has soul. This TwoSun is absolute fire, guys. This is my favorite TwoSun I've ever handled. Now, left-handed, that's where I'm not going to buy one because of this. It's just a little bit too right-hand biased. As soon as you land where you kind of want to land to flick, it locks up, right? I can't flick it there. I have to climb down a little bit to reverse flick it. I have to get up on the pivot to reverse flick it. I have to get over to the side to reverse flick it. It's easy enough to put that pressure off somewhere else, but for me, I like to grip my knife, pick it up, and flick it. And guess what? I always land in this spot. I always land in a spot where I just can't get it to fire. And I don't want to sit there and train myself to, lower my grip or whatever. So you know what? This knife just ultimately isn't going to be for me. But having said that, everything else about it is pretty much amazing. I really love this knife. This TwoSun is just dialed in. The closing action, while not a guillotine, is super, super smooth. There's no play. Maybe the tiniest bit of play at this point. Let's tighten it up and see what happens. Ugh, sorry. Let's see this side. Tighten that down just a snitch. No play. Yeah, we still have great action. I mean, it's pretty much identical there. Drops to your nail, and I mean, very light shaking, and it's dropping the rest of the way. It's very, very smooth. I mean, it's one of the smoothest TwoSuns I've handled, frictionless, so to speak, in this area right here. Now, your detent is right there. It is nice and early. I mean, look at that angle, guys. Detent breaks right there. I mean, that is freaking phenomenal compared to a lot of knives these days. And without having a flipper, it's easy anyway. It didn't matter, but having that early break is just nice. And they didn't go crazy with a stupid ramp that kind of like jiggles up and down. I hate when that happens on their knives. So they just absolutely crushed the build quality, the fit and finish, the design, the action, the detent. They nailed it on this knife. This knife is incredible. I love this TwoSun very, very much, and I just wish they either did a longer clip so I could, get my flick on a little better, right, left-handed, or they did, maybe they come out with a liner lock version, or they just come out with a lefty. How about that? That'd be cool. Now, the other option is I just adjust, right? Kev, you could just adjust. You're doing a great job flicking it right now. I know. And that is fair, but there's just times where I miss it, and then it bugs me, right? Another knife that I just got back from Lewis is the Osprey EDX, and I'm tempted to sell this now because it's the same thing where on occasion it just, I can't get the flick because I'm a little too high up on this bolster lock. You need to be all the way down here, and then the angle of your finger just doesn't quite nail it. Now, I need to carry it more to get back in the habit of landing where I need to land on it. But that kind of stuff just bugs me. Making adjustments to have a knife work for me just bugs me, right? So that might be getting sold. But anyway, that's the only thing keeping me from absolutely hunting one of these down. I'd love to see maybe a 3.25-inch version with a little bit of a bigger choil. If you're interested in that, or if you're a lefty and maybe you'd like to see a bolster lock version and you love this design, keep an eye out for Devo knives, guys. Our stout design is pretty similar to this, but you're going to get that bolster lock, so lefties are going to be able to use it. It's going to be a little more premium in terms of materials. So I absolutely love this TwoSun. Thank you, Lewis, for letting me check this out. That's the TS249, I'm going to say, but caveat that could be wrong. Let's work our way down here in terms of price point. This is the Kubey Knives Vagrant, and this is the premium version of it, the titanium version with a bead blasted blade. This is an S30V, which is an interesting steel. Kubey has been using that lately, and I like it. I like that they're doing that. S30 is a cool steel, in my opinion. I really enjoy it, so I have no issues with getting some S30V. Now, this is, I believe, a matte, how do you say it? A matte Mischik, something like that design. I think. I remember seeing a budget version, and it had a logo here. I don't think this is an internal design, but maybe it is. It's a cool knife, guys. It really is. You have this blue ano that looks cool. I love their pivot. We have a little bit of play on this one as well. So just me playing with these knives over the last, 2 weeks or so has worn them down a little bit. Loosened them up or whatever. Action is still good. A lot less play and centering. Ooh, centering's off now. So was that why it was loosened up a little bit? I don't know what's going on with the centering. Oh, that pivot's spinning now. So hang on a second. Let me push that in. All right. Centering is dead nuts. No play. Action's pretty good. I could probably use a cleaning or something. But anyway, that is pretty good. What the hell is going on? Look at that. It just shot over there after one flick. What? Did you see that? It was dead centered. I don't know what is going on with this thing. Now it's super loose. I wonder if the pivot kind of locks into place or something. Look at that lock bar just like shooting around. It's super weird. I'm going to take it out and just see what's going on. Ah, look at that, guys. He Loctited it, and the Loctite is sticking to the actual... That sucks. It actually made it to where whenever you see a captured pivot like this, it's actually still a screw. It's just, yeah, it's hard to explain. So now that pivot is the screw, and it came out. Look at that. And they red Loctited it, but I guess because I don't know what Loctite he used, but it was strong enough to actually break this one, which kind of sucks, to be honest, because now we're going to be dealing with some shit here. So we need to get this tightened. I need to get it back in position. See if we can get it to not move. Okay, so I have it tightened. The KB is in the right situation there. And look, we are dead centered, but wait for it. Wait for one flick. No play, really. Drops, and now still there. Okay, cool. Sorry, that was really weird. I don't know. Did you guys notice that weird shit? I'm going to back off at a cinch. Man, it's such a weird pivot. Just trying to get a little bit of better action here. Now it's shifted over to that side. Super weird. I'm barely turning it. It's trying to turn that pivot a little bit. See, look, now we're back to that shit. That's so weird. Sorry, this is just kind of like cracking me up a little bit here. Well, All right, we have like no play, and the action's really good. And the centering is off, but this is something I can deal with later. Or Lewis, when he gets it back, can take it apart. I'm sure that's just, it needs a cleaning, and it needs to be locked. That screw needs to be Loctited in nicely, and then this one needs to be like light strength Loctite. Anyway, I've had that happen to me, and it pisses me off. So anyway, aesthetically, I think it's a beautiful looking knife. I love this blue ano on everything. I love the blue hardware. It just looks really good, honestly. And I think it goes well with a bead blasted blade. So I think the aesthetics are good. I like the shape of the hole, very unique. There's a lot of knives with holes coming out, and I like that there's variance in the shapes and everything. It's pretty cool. So ergos, it's pretty ergonomic in this grip. If you have a large glove size hand, that's about as big as you can go without having things start to fall off. So I can fit my full hand on here pretty comfortably, but I have nowhere to choke up. Like, I can do this, but it's not an actual choil of any kind. I guess you could kind of dig in like this if you're doing something, you know, light use wise. I like the blade shape a lot, and in terms of the ergos, you know, for slicing and stuff, you can use it like this pretty well, but gripping it like this and dipping down is really good with this blade shape. I'd call it a, I don't know what you would call this. I guess it's a sheep's foot, right? Yeah, it's a sheep's foot. So ergos are good. Cutting, again, I mean, shipping labels, getting into packages, EDC stuff, it does a good job with. Had no issues with that. The edge seemed pretty good. I don't know if he had recently gotten this or just hadn't used it a lot, but it feels pretty fresh. And, you know, I didn't do anything crazy with it, and it felt good. It's pretty thin. It's a flat grind or saber grind, but it's pretty thin stock to begin with, and it comes down to an even thinner edge. It's a great cutter, this knife. You know, I didn't put it through a ton of paces, but I could definitely see this being a great knife to have as an everyday carry kind of situation. All right, what else do we want to get into? The carry. You have this clip right here, and again, they did a great job with the clip. This is pretty much a really nice 3D milled clip. It's what I prefer. In a lot of cases, they go in pocket, they come out of pocket, they sit in pocket really well. Just, you know, there's no frills. It just works well. But they dialed it in pretty well. It doesn't, you know, it's not tight, it's not loose. It's just really good. It's a pretty slim package in all dimensions. And it's not very heavy either in terms of milling. You have lightning pockets on both sides. Kubi did a great job with this knife. Yeah. Cutting carry, ergo, sounds. Sounds are good. I don't really have any issues with the sounds. I like them. I don't love them. I'd give it like a 6 or 7 out of 10. Good, right? Nothing negative, just nothing like screaming at me positive, right? Now, action. This is where this knife falls short for me a little bit. Aside from what we just witnessed and everything, which is more of a maintenance thing, not a big deal. Either myself or Lewis will get this bad boy dialed in, don't you worry. And now I pretty much have it dialed in. It's just not perfectly centered. It's pretty close. There's no play right now. And it's doing this. So, got to give them credit. Detent is on point on this knife. It's one thing I'm loving about Kubi. Nailing detents. Now, again, like the other knife we just reviewed, my issue is not lefty friendly. Yes, you can climb all the way down here on the clip, and even then I can't get a good position with the way this hole is cut. And that's the thing. On the right-handed reverse flick and the left-handed thumb flick, this hole is perfect. I mean, it's a great shape. All that stuff works really well, right? You get good traction in there. It's wide enough, and you can flick it out, right? Reverse flick, bang. Really good on that reverse flick. But the right-handed thumb flick, I'm just all over this lock bar. It's just really hard for me not to be. And I end up basically locking it up, or I have to just apply a ton of pressure to get it out, and that happens. left-handed reverse flick, I have to just basically hug the pivot. That's like my only way to really use this reverse flick. And it feels pretty good. It's just, you know, even down here, I can't, as I do it. So I guess if you get down at the bottom of the hole and just flick this way, you can get it. But that's not satisfying. I want to flick vertical. I guess I'm getting it there. But I'm really down here on the, you know, I just struggle to repeat it, I guess, is my problem. So I don't love it for that. Again, if I was right-handed, I think I would really like this knife, aside from the thumb flick right-handed, which maybe you guys are just used to figuring that out. You just get on the clip, or I don't know what you do. The closing action, again, is really good. Drops to the nail, smooth, shake close. No grit, no grime. Again, feels just like that TwoSun, just, you know, very effortless in here. Just feels really good. That's the Kubey Vagrant premium model. Really dig it. Another really good right-hand friendly knife. Now, the last one is the Sencut Honoris. And guys, I absolutely love this knife. This is one of the best budget knives I've handled. Kind of reminds me of the Riffle and how much I love it, but it might be better because it's just a little bit more manageable in terms of size. And it just has a little bit of a better flipper tab. It has that sort of wee Civivi flipper tab I love, as opposed to the Riffle. The hole shape is just absolute money. The D10 on this thing is just, ugh. All right, so aesthetics. I really dig it. I think it's a good-looking knife. Nice sort of drop spear point. Nice hole shape, elongated. You have really nice micarta for a $45 knife. Get your budget clip, which is fine on a knife like this for 45 bucks, right? It is reversible. You can see I have it on the left side. I've carried this a good bit because I really like it, and it works well left-handed. So yeah, aesthetics, in my opinion, are nice. There's some different flavors. I think they're all coated, though, sadly. Or maybe the one that's not is wood or something. I forget. You can check on Amazon. These are available there. I believe they're solely sold on Amazon. So yeah, aesthetics, good. Ergos, man, this grip back here is just really good. Yes, I feel the clip because it's looped over, but it's really good in hand, both right and left-handed. Now, there's no choil. I wish there was a choil, but I'm going to say that about any knife without a choil. So you got to keep that in mind. I just love me a choil. Let me grab a sip of my tea. All right. So, yeah, ergos are good. On the blade, you don't have any jimping, but it's very comfortable. It feels really good in hand. It's good for cutting. Let's talk about cutting. The edge is really good. I don't know if this is the stock edge, but I think it is the factory edge, and it's done extremely well. And we all know Civivi Wee just nails that. It doesn't have a low tip, but it's low enough that I can get to my shipping labels in a pinch grip like this, ride up on the spine with my index finger, and I don't have to go like crazy up high. I can kind of just get to here, and that tip will penetrate the paper right there, and I'm good to go. So I really enjoyed it for labels, opening packages. Didn't have any issues with that. Your normal EDC stuff was not an issue. Now, I don't know if cutting paper, or sorry, cardboard, stuff like that, you'd have issues with this hole gobbling up pieces of it or something. You know, I'm not your guy for that. Go check out, you know, somebody else's video who did an extensive cut testing review. Sorry, I have something in my eye. It's just annoying the shit out of me. All right. Cutting for me was good. It's 9CR, 18 MOV. Yeah, 9CR. Can we zoom in on that? 9CR, 18 MOV, which is honestly, in my opinion, a good steel. I like that steel. I've never had major issues with it. It's held a good edge for me. Obviously, it's not the best, but like I prefer it over stuff like VG10 or N690. So I know we're all weird and we have our own just ideas of steels and stuff, but I like that one. Carry, it's the same old budget clip, and they do a great job with it. It has enough clearance. It's nothing special, but I dig it, right? Not a big deal. Pretty lightweight. It does have steel liners that are milled out, but they're not like extensively milled, and it has a little weight to it, but for a 3.3 inch-ish blade, I think it's really good. Might even be more than that. Sounds. Oops, sorry. You know, it's good. It sounds like a knife. Like, it doesn't have a Kaiser rattle of any kind. It's well put together and everything, and I think, you know, it's like a 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10. It's not special, but it's not bad. It's got good acoustics. Action. So this is where this knife really shines, guys. This thing has a perfect detent for flipper and hole. It's so good on the flipper. Like, I don't know if I could fail it. I'm trying. Yeah, I don't think I could fail it. And when you want to flip it, it fires out. This flipper tab just has the perfect jimping. It wraps around and it catches your finger just perfectly. I absolutely love this flipper tab. They use it on a lot of knives, and I love it. And then you have the hole. And the hole is just dialed for a thumb flick perfectly. Right-handed right there. Right hand reverse flick is money. That hole is just accessible from so many different places. Left-handed, it's a liner lock. So we have no issues here with frame locks. Flicks out so easily. You have a bang. Bang. Just flicks out so well. You can get your ring finger down here at the bottom of the hole. Bang. Just, you have a lot of fidget factor here. Pinky, maybe? Bang. Like, I don't know. I enjoy it so much. And then the fact that they dialed that flipper to work very well with it is impressive. Because usually that flipper is gonna be lagging behind, or the other way around. It'll be too stiff, you know, like the Mini Critical or whatever. So the action's really good. And then on the close, it's smooth, right? It's not gritty in any way. Again, all three of these are really good, just frictionless. Especially for a budget knife here. They did a great job. It almost looks like they used a different set of bearings here. Are these... I don't know. They almost don't look like the normal brass cage bearings. They look like they're in a plastic cage, which maybe they see as budget, but to me, that's better. I don't know. It's frictionless and very smooth. And that's without me touching this. Like, there's no play or anything. Just excellent. It really is. This is a home run from Sencut. 45 bucks. Man, it is so hard to go wrong with this, guys. I can recommend this to anybody. Lefty, righty, doesn't matter. It is a freaking home run. Sencut Honoris. Yeah, this is probably the most impressed I've been with a Wii Civivi knife since the Roxy 3. And even then, I think Jared put an edge on. Yeah. Even then, like, that was the only one in a long time, right? Like, you guys know I'm not a big Wii Civivi fan. Or I guess Wii Civivi Sencut fan. But these two are just, man, it just shows what they can do when they want to put that, you know, when they want to just do it right or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's just the designs I like. I don't know. But these two are just so excellent. But I don't know. You're not here for the Roxy 3. Sorry. This is a home run. So check that out. Sencut Honoris. We also have the TwoSun TS, possibly 249, and the Kubi Vagrant in premium version. So really cool knives. Really appreciate Lewis sending these to me. He also sent me the Ferrum Forge Dow, which I have done a different video on, so I didn't show that. But he knows me, right? You can tell. He sent me knives with holes for deployment. Other than the fact that some of these just don't work well left-handed, they're all amazing knives. Like, just really cool. 1, 2, 3, perfect if you're right-handed, and this one if you're left-handed. Even if both-handed, this is just such a good budget knife. 45 bucks. You could abuse the shit out of this and not care, and yet it is as fidgety, as fun as almost any knife in my collection. Just so cool. I kind of want one, honestly. I just know if I buy one, it's not going to get carried because I'm just not a super budget guy. But I still kind of want one anyway. So those are the knives from Lewis. I really appreciate it, Lewis. And guys, please go check out his channel, Addicted to Knives. It'll be linked below. Yeah, just a cool dude I've gotten to know recently, pretty much. And he's also a local dude, so we get to meet up on occasion, which is cool. So anyway, check it out. New logo here, too. Compliments of Backpack B. So I love you guys. Let me know what you think of these. Do you think this is a budget home run as well? And I love you all. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.